what are the main things it takes for players to be able to take their game from whether it be high school or college or the European leagues and come in and actually be a player in this NBA?
It's the like I said earlier, that small, like tiny little detail. Talking to a couple of different trainers and some other guys that I know, the biggest thing that separates the best from everybody else is just how much they care about perfecting things, like every little thing, whether it's their timing between the ball and the foot bouncing at the same time, how they're able to manipulate the ball and the different moves that they're able to do with it, where their spots are and how they're going to get there on the court. Like those things are truly what separates the best from everybody else. And so I think if you're a high school kid looking to play college, or a college kid looking to move on to some type of professional level, it's what small things, what small, tiny little things do I need to improve on today and tomorrow, this week, this month, this off season to come out way better prepared. It's not, you can't throw like everything out there, right? Like when we were talking about guys who are trying to improve, every day it was one thing for every guy. All those guys, they're going to get flooded with things that their different teams are going to try and get them to do. If they're able to focus on one thing in particular, those guys are going to be the ones who are the most successful, and perfecting that. And then the next year, once it's perfected, then it's going on to the next thing. And then once that's perfected, it's attaching those and going on to another thing. That's what I would think it would be.
Yeah, it seems like you mentioned the team aspect to it. It seems like the new wave compared to the past is that best players have their own trainers. And it seems like you look at guys like Zach LaVine, for instance, and I think that's such a good example of like little things. And you notice year to year, just like the addition of small skills in terms of his shot making, and how that eventually kind of translates into him being I think top 10, top 15 offensive player in this league. I think how long does that take to materialize? Because it feels like the little things eventually add up, and then those guys, like, they jump up, and it feels like almost like year 3. Feels like year 3 is like where that comes together.
So I think the big thing for NBA guys, right? Like you'll see it. So watch the progression of Chet Holmgren's body, not this year, right? Like he's just getting into the Thunder system. They're going to try and put him through a bunch of stuff. And the next thing you know, like the season started and he's going, but the next off season, just how big that dude's going to get, or how his body's able to change. Like, I think the big transition is typically in year 2 for these guys, where they're able to be in their team system. And then they're able to incorporate a lot of the things that their team wants them to work on, especially if they have that consistency with the coaching aspect of it. And they're hearing the same things from this year 1 to year 2 and going forward from there. I think that's huge for it. Like when you talk about a guy like Zach LaVine, the other part, I mean, you almost said it verbatim. One of the things that I know he really tries to work on, and what his trainer really has him work on, is this thing called like micro skills. Mm-hmm. And so, like you said, small skills, these micro skills, like the microscopic ones, like that are right under there. That's super important. And he wants to perfect those all the time. Just tiny little things here and there and there. And then again, like you said, once you master them and they build up, it's people don't realize, like, just a simple, him being able to do an in and out and get by a defender on the 3-point line, take a couple of dribbles and get to the hole and dunk, like how much he's worked to just be able to perfect that one move that he might use this game. And then he may not use it again 3 games from now, but he did that maybe 4 off seasons ago, and somebody else is, and then he's adding other things to it as he goes through.
Yeah. I think maybe like to kind of contrast that with, the draft that we're talking about. Like, it's insane when you look at guys like, for instance, like Jalen Green, and he comes into the league and he's got a move like that in his bag. He's got a move like that where you see it in his rookie year, and it's insane. These guys like come in already with like that crazy talent level. And I don't know if that speaks to the amount of like detail that they get in the G League, or detail that a lot of these guys are putting into it. Like how much do you think like the work ethic? Because everyone preaches work ethic, work ethic, work ethic, and nobody. It's rare that you see guys that they're like looked at as like bad workers, but how many guys are actually like those like gym rats? Because I feel like
So
everyone
much
says
of it
it.
is. I mean, you look at those guys in the NBA. I bet like 95% of them are total, what we would think of as like insane gym rats, right? And then the other 5% we would consider just to be like normal gym rats, right? And then everybody kind of separates themselves between like, I'm in the gym 40 hours a week, or I'm in the gym like 30 hours a week, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. It's again, I think it's different for everybody. They all want to be good. I think it's really who you're able to surround yourself with.
Yeah.
And are you able to get with the right coaching for so many of these guys? Like,
Mm.
I mean, they're just thinking about Massachusetts. There's a ton of kids who train at a local facility nearby that I know of that their trainer's really good. And he's fantastic at getting them, as good as he can for their leagues and what they play in. And then they'll go, or some other guys will go to somewhere else. And it's, it can be a great gym. It can be an ugly looking gym. But if the guy doesn't know what he's talking about, is he really helping you? You can put somebody through all these things and they can say it. I think that's the biggest part is being able to surround yourself with the right people who are actually going to help you. Everybody's going to want to help you succeed, but are they actually able to do it? That's the tough part for those guys.
Thanks for watching Coast to Coast on YouTube. For full episodes, check out the show wherever you get your podcasts. And for all the best hot takes, subscribe to the Coast to Coast YouTube channel below.